Okay, I think we're live, aren't we? Yes, we are. Is it 3 o'clock? Oh, I'm like a minute early. Waiting for it to tick. No. Welcome to Cash In on Camera Live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I take time out of my calendar to go live and share with you here on Zoom. If you're watching on Zoom and you're with me in the interactive portion of the training, then welcome. I see a lot of familiar faces. If you're watching the replay, here's what's interesting about the replay. Well, actually, what's interesting about the whole stream is that this is actually being multi-streamed out right now to LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Facebook, my Cash In on Camera group, as well as I believe on my page, in addition to Periscope. How am I doing that? How am I able to stream all of this out to all of those platforms at the same time in real time? I use Restream and Restream.io, and I partner together and they help me to do this. So if you're interested in knowing more about Restream, I do have a partner link that's in the chat if you're watching on Zoom. And afterwards, I'm going to come back into Facebook and LinkedIn and all of these platforms and put the link in there for you as well. So if you're interested and want to know how you can go live to 30 platforms at the same time, and you can sign up for free, which is kind of awesome, then this is the tool that you want to look into, Restream.io. Today, we're talking about the secret to making more videos consistently. One of the things, and by the way, my name is Cheryl Plouffe. For those of you who are new to me, if you're watching on other platforms like Periscope or LinkedIn, and you are like, who is this lady that's just blabbing on? My name is Cheryl Plouffe. I'm a video strategist, but former TV broadcaster. And now what I do is I help offline authorities, such as coaches, consultants, speakers, and authors to build their business online, specifically with video, right? A lot of what I do is in the content marketing space. It does spill over into other forms of marketing, such as email marketing, for example, and digital marketing. But the foundation of what I do is always built around video. It's how I've built what I've built. It's how you'll build what you want to build, because the world is at that place, if you haven't noticed, right? All the number of people who are using video, not only to communicate with their own teams, but to create content as well. So welcome. Today, the secret to making more videos consistently comes down to a few different factors, which I'm going to get to in a few minutes' time. A bit of housekeeping just to clear up a few things that are happening, because it's December. And in December, I like to spend my time looking at my strategy and going, okay, what worked? What maybe didn't work as well? What do I want to tweak? You should be doing something similar. You should be taking this time, and especially the last 2 weeks of December, to really analyze what your strategy is. So I'm doing that right now as well. A few little updates that are coming up. One thing is that you should know we have our January 30-day Go Live Challenge, which is open for registration. I know there are some faces here who are doing it and doing an amazing job at it. I see your videos. I'm so excited for you. I see you jumping in and doing your live every day. We provide prompts for you every day, so you're never stuck with what to talk about. So if you're interested in the January Go Live Challenge, it's $17 to join. The link is in the chat. You can join for the January challenge if you're interested in that. Another thing that is going on is we are opening our registration. It is by application only for our 8-week Go Live coaching program. So we have an 8-week coaching program. And we're opening up our registration for that by application. So again, I'll leave the link. It's a quick call, show you what's going on, give you a demonstration of what it entails, and see if it's a fit for you. And another thing, housekeeping wise, is that there is something really exciting going on. Can I just lean in? I got to tell you, it's a secret. Rose is like, yes, well, tell me. Okay, it's not really a secret. Here's what's really cool. There's an exciting thing going on YouTube. Probably one of the most exciting things that I have heard of in a long time with YouTube. And you know, I'm all about the YouTube. I just passed 14,600 subscribers. A lot of growth this year in that area. And I'm putting together a free training, and it's all to do with short form video. So hear me out. YouTube Shorts. How many of you, show of hands, have heard of this? Okay, I hadn't heard of this either until about less than 24 hours ago, actually. I'm on fire about this. Okay. I want you to know that I'm putting together, and I tried to get it done in time for today's training. I tried to get together like a form where you could just like put your name and just show your interest if you want to know more about it, because I want to put together a free training for you about this. I'm also learning as much as I can about it right now. What it is it's open to all creators, and especially those of you who just came through my Cashing on YouTube course, right? Where we talk about getting to your first 1,000 subscribers. This is all about short form video, vertical video on YouTube. I know you're going, what? I thought YouTube was only for this horizontal type videos. Not anymore. Well, here's what's happening. YouTube is going toe to toe with TikTok and Instagram Reels. They don't want to be left in the dust because they see what kind of exponential growth those platforms have had. So now YouTube is answering it with their own short form vertical video. I know it's blowing my mind. I just want you to know I'm putting together all the details for you. So watch for that. I'm going to have a place where you can register, and we're going to do another special training all about that. Okay. So that's really exciting. That is coming as well. One other thing I wanted to mention, for those of you who join the challenges, whether you join in January or subsequent, we plan to do them every month throughout 2021. We're going to also be, for everyone who joins the challenge, at the end of the month, we're going to do a draw for six months of free membership to Restream.io for those who register with my link. So just little things that are going on in relation to my partnership with Restream. So they're like, hey, we're going to we want to give your people free memberships. Like, they're giving me all kinds of stuff. So all of this is going to trickle down to you in the coming months, just so that you know. Okay. All right. Hey, buddy, how are you? How was school? Good. Good. Okay. So I want to know all about it after I'm done. Okay. So let's dive in. First of all, before we do, are there any questions, anything that's going on for you right now that is like really driving you crazy, that you would like to ask me about, that you want me to answer on today's call? If you do, just put your hand up on the screen. If there's anything that's kind of, okay, I'm not seeing, okay, good. So let me dive into, and if you do have any, just post them in the chat, and I can get to those by the end of today's call. The secret to making more videos consistently. So I hear from people, offline authorities such as yourselves, right? Like coaches, consultants, small business owners, entrepreneurs. And one of the things, well, there's two things. One thing is, I don't know what to talk about in my videos. Like, I don't know what to make my videos about. And the other problem is consistency. How many of you, show of hands, feel like you are, one of those two things is a problem for you, if not both? It's the consistency. And by that, I mean like regular content, not just, oh, I'm doing one video and then 3 weeks later I do one, and then I get excited and I do two, and then I do. I'm talking about consistency, right? Week after week after week. And so it is a problem. And the thing that I see a lot of the time is that a lot of people are dabbling, kind of dabbling in it. It's like trying some stuff, doing a few things, but not necessarily, and you hear me say this all the time, commitment. That is really what it's all about. How committed are you? If you have a problem with consistency, you likely have a problem with commitment. And so how committed are you? Now, let's dig into that a little bit more, because it's easy for me to just sit here and say, you have a problem with commitment. If you have a problem with consistency, and you are kind of like hot and cold and feast and famine with regard to any of the content you create, including video, you have likely a commitment. There's maybe a commitment issue there. Why is that? It may be because you don't see the ROI of the commitment. Like, you might not be in a place where you're really going, is it worth it? Why would I put myself through this? Why am I going to be committed and consistent if I don't know what the end result is going to be? Is this going to work? Does this work? Oh, I see it working for other people, but it's not going to work for me because I'm a snowflake. I'm over here. I'm different than everybody else. Here's the thing. There is an ROI. And sometimes the ROI of video content in general, but specifically video, sometimes the ROI is not immediate. And we live in an instant gratification society. So I think sometimes, and marketers have done not an injustice, I believe, to me, to you, to all of us, and making it seem like this is going to be solving all of your problems like in a minute. Not necessarily. It can solve problems in a minute. I've had videos that have done that. I've had videos that I've published and then I get a client the next day, $2,500, right? Or I have had content that has come back after 2 years of having been published. So we don't know what's going to hit when it's going to hit, because videos are assets and we create them and we put them out there, and we don't know when the ROI is going to come back. So sometimes that's the challenge, is people suffer from lack of commitment, because it's like, well, why should I commit to something that's uncertain? Why would I commit to something that I don't know if it's going to work? But I'm here to say, especially now, this was true before COVID, but especially now, businesses that do not integrate video to some degree in their marketing are going to, I would say, this might be harsh, but fail. It's crucial. We're not in a place anymore where it could be, well, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I really, truly believe that videos are going to have to be a part. It may not be all of your marketing. And I would suggest, listen, I'm not a person who's against podcasting. I'm not against other written content necessarily. I don't think that people are reading long blog posts the way they used to. But I think there is a place for written content. Maybe it's just changed a little bit. Maybe that written content now is a longer form Instagram caption as opposed to a 2,000 word blog post. Certain industries, it's going to work. You have to test some things. So I really feel like a lot of people just dabbling, kind of just trying some stuff, but never really committing to it for the long term. The reason why I created my 6-month publishing plan free report, which is like 13 pages long, I just put the finishing touches on it recently. If you don't have it yet, let me know. Email community@cherylplouffe.com, and we'll make sure we get that to your hands. It's a free report. The reason why I built that out to be over a 6-month period is because I need you to start thinking of things more long-term. We have to get away from this idea of like instant gratification. While it can happen, and there is some, like for instance, the 30-day go live challenge does give you instant results in the sense of momentum, and it helps to make you, start thinking about video every day. But when we start getting into the marketing part, that's when it's like, we have to have commitment from you in order for this to work for the medium to long term. So no more dabbling. It's time to start taking it more seriously. And that might require, maybe you need to look at some people in your industry who are effectively using video and who are getting results, in order to prove to yourself, if that's an issue for you, to prove to yourself that it does indeed work. One thing you can do is you can go to YouTube and you can search channels. Let me see if I can bring up a page here. I'll just go over to, so this is a good exercise to do. Let me just go over here and we will find a topic. Somebody put a topic in the chat of what your industry is, and I'm going to actually use that as an example. So somebody put your industry, type your industry in the chat. So for me, it's like video marketing. What is your industry? Just type it in the chat and I will, meditation, work-life balance. Yeah. Okay. So let's do meditation. Cheryl, I'm going to just use yours as the example. So let's screen share here. And let's just take a look. Meditation. If I could spell it, that would help. Meditation. I don't have my glasses on. Guys, I'm 49. So I'm starting to, like, my eyesight is starting to go. Meditation. There we go. Okay, so I want you to do this with your own industry after today's training, or when it's convenient for you. Go into the search bar and put in the name of your industry, and then filter by channel. See how it's under type? You can filter by video, by channel, by playlist, etc. So you're going to go to channel, and then start looking through other people in the meditation field who have channels. And I want you to spend maybe 15 to 20 minutes just doing some research on what are other people in my industry doing. Specifically, I'm using YouTube as the example because it's video here, right? To reach people. Like what's going on in my industry. If you've not ever done this exercise, this is a great thing to do from a market research perspective. So let's just say, for example, here's what's interesting, right? This first one has 1.15 million subscribers and only 126 videos. So let's just look and see what this is. 3, 2, 1, relaxing music and nature. Oh, it looks like it's just, there are no people in it. Likely it's not a influencer, personal branding type of thing. Great meditation, 2.29 million subscribers, 310,000. Healing meditation. I'm looking for one. I'm looking for a one has pictures. Here we go. The Honest Guys, meditations and relaxation, 1.04 million subscribers. I don't know. There's a video here, 15,000 views from a year ago. It's a good thing to go through and just kind of take a look at what other people are doing and say to yourself, this might be the exercise that you need to do to prove to yourself that, oh yeah, this is a thing. This is worth my commitment. This is worth me putting myself out there and facing fears if that's where you're at. The ROI is definitely there, because those people, all those meditation channels, they wouldn't be putting in the time and energy and effort that's required to build up to 1 million subs or 500 subs or any number of subs if it wasn't worth it. Okay. So I would encourage you to do that research. So it's time to sort of think about getting serious, because when you're serious about it, that helps with consistency. You're more likely to commit and be consistent if you get serious. And that really is about thinking and acting like a content creator. It's like that line in the sand that you draw says, I'm going pro, guys. I'm going to do this. It's time to go pro. No more dabbling, no more just trying, it's like, how committed am I? It's time to go pro. And by pro, I don't mean perfect. It is not about perfection, especially in the early stages. Those of you who have newer, let's say YouTube channels, or you're not doing a lot of video yet, you're kind of getting into it. It is a momentum builder. You have to keep doing it. You just got to get through that painful part in the early stages. There is a painful part in the early stages, no doubt. So getting serious, going pro is what needs to happen. And the last piece about this is that, and it's a bit of a mindset shift here. You have to think of yourself, or at least a branch of your business needs to be thinking of itself as a mini media company. You have to become a mini media company. It needs to be a branch, likely under the marketing branch of your business. So you might say, okay, that sounds great in theory. What does that really mean? What does it mean to be a mini media company? It means that you are creating content. I would hope that one of those pieces of content is going to be video, because that's what people crave and want. And we see exponential increase in in people consuming video. And we know how effective it is to connect with people. A mini media company mindset also involves content calendaring. For those of you who just started in the Go Live coaching program for 8 weeks with me, we did our first call and we talked, and I gave you my content calendar template, and you have now a content calendar of your own based on mine, which is exciting. So having a content calendar means looking at that and saying, okay, this is my plan. I'm making decisions about, well, what kind of content am I making on what platforms and how frequently every single week. And it also means production. You cannot be a mini media company if you produce no media, right? Like, I wish, I wish it could be that way, but it isn't. If you're going to be a mini media company, you have to produce media, and that requires production. So this comes full circle back to the beginning, which is you have a choice of what two kinds of videos that you can make. One is live and one is recorded. I ideally would love to see you have both, as I describe in my 6-month publishing plan, but the order in which you do it, I believe, needs to be live first, which is why we're doing Go Live Challenge. That's why we're doing Go Live coaching for 8 weeks and live, because that's the fastest way to get up and running with the consistency and the production and the mini media company action taking that needs to happen. And then later on, we move and graduate you into thinking about the recorded stuff. And okay, here are the skill sets you're going to need to create videos that do require editing, that do require elements to jazz them up. Okay, let's see. Question. Doug asks, don't you need to have a product or service to sell prior to this video initiative? It depends, Doug. It depends, coming back to like, what is the intent? I don't believe that it's a bad time today or yesterday to have started to grow your audience based on your philosophy, your point of view, your industry, your thought leadership in your space. Even if you don't have a product or service dialed in yet. Now, here's one thing I would suggest. You need to get that dialed in quickly, right? We do want to see progress in getting, you need to create a product or service and get something created. But if you're in a position where it's like, okay, that's not dialed in, it doesn't mean that you wait. I don't believe you should be sitting around going, I'm going to wait until the product or service is perfect before I start building my audience. The time to build the audience was yesterday. It really is. And that can be done even if you don't have anything that you're selling yet. Can you still be building an audience based on your industry knowledge, on your experience, your insights, your ideas and philosophy and point of view? And the answer is yes. But I would challenge you to say, okay, what is stopping you from creating that product or service? You know, I'm a Kajabi person, and I could leave a link here for this as well, but there's a free, I don't know if they're doing it right now. I'd have to look, but they have this mini course. It's a 28-day mini course at Kajabi that will take you through the process of creating your first profitable product, right? It's usually like a small mini product, but a product nonetheless that you can sell. So I say that because sometimes people hold back and they overthink this idea of creating something to sell for months, sometimes years, trying to perfect this thing that they haven't even tested. You need a minimum viable product first. You need to put a minimum viable product out into the world and see what kind of reaction it gets, and then have it be good, then make it better, and then make it great over time. That's one of the biggest problems and mistakes that I see, especially in the course creating world, where people will be like, I'm going to create the best course of all time. And then that course creation takes 2 years. And in the meantime, they're so focused on creating this perfect course that they don't even know people are going to buy yet, that they neglect all of the other audience building and list building things that you need to be doing to grow your audience. Susan says, a struggle for me is lacking a solid mission. Yeah, that can be verbalized clearly. Yes, I totally hear that. What are ways to hone in on a singular focus, especially with a tangential thought process? Lack of mission is one cause for dabbling. I like that word. So descriptive. Yeah. Oh, Susan, this is here's an interesting thing. I'll tell you a story. This was in, gosh, I want to say it was 2018. I think it was 2018. I invested in a very expensive program. And in this very expensive program, the idea was they were going to help us to really unfurl our point of view. That was one of the fundamental things that we were going to really work on, was like, dialing in your point of view and all of that. And and it was like nothing against the program was good. But what I discovered in the process is that point of view is not something that you force. Point of view is not something that you can just be like, figure out your point of view and you've got 30 minutes to figure it out. And that's kind of what we did. And this was at a time when we were traveling. So I'd like pack all my bags and I'd be gone for 4 days and I'd go to Las Vegas and we'd sit in a conference room and they were like, figure out your point of view. And I want to see you finish it in 30 minutes. And I'll be like, It took me doing that program to realize that you can't force it. Your point of view is about belief. And you can't force belief. It's just something that is innately there. So back to your idea of the mission, Susan, I think you probably know what the mission is or what's driving you, but what you may be lacking are the words to eloquently or I don't know if pithily is a word, but in a pithy way, describe what that is. Is that what I'm hearing you say? It's just like, I need the words to describe what it is my mission is. Yeah. Sometimes I think that's one thing that can be done, by coaching or by like, it's more of an exercise that needs to be done. You could send me some examples and then I can take a look, that would be fine too. But I think that, to sit and go, okay, what is my mission? It's more about what do I believe? What is my point of view? And it can change. And I think, maybe not the fundamental beliefs and values that typically stays with us over time, but your point of view, like, for example, for me, even this year would be a good example. Prior to COVID, I really had always prioritized teaching recorded video and editing mostly first. And then live was, and also you should be doing some lives. But because of COVID, it helped me to see things in a different way, in that coaches and consultants right now need to have videos out there doing their bidding fast. And I realized that editing is a bottleneck of the process. So I switched the way I teach it and the way I prioritize it. And that's what's leading me now into 2021 with a new point of view about video and what people truly need in what order. So that's an example of how my point of view about that changed. But fundamentally, my values don't change. I still believe in speaking from the heart and extemporaneous speaking, and developing the skill set of speaking is far and away the best thing that you can do in your business. Does that help? Okay, good. Great questions. Awesome. So just to reiterate, the secret to making more videos consistently is about commitment. And if you're lacking in commitment, it may be because you don't see the value in doing it, or you don't see the ROI of putting in the effort, energy to do it. Do some research and go out and see some other examples of people in your industry who are getting ROI, who are being effective, which may help you to see things in a different way and get out of the bubble, because we all live in a bubble, especially now. But we all as entrepreneurs often are living in our own bubbles. But go out and do some market research and go, oh, you know what? I see other people in my industry really killing it. Why are they doing that? Because there is an ROI. And then you have to start saying to yourself, I need to start being more serious about this. I need to go pro. I need to think of myself as a mini media company and start creating media to support building my brand and business online. And that will involve both recorded and live video. I'm going to start and prioritize live first, because that's the fastest way to get up and running. And then I'm going to really dial in the recorded stuff as well and develop that skill set over time. Okay. Ruben, Ruben, are you able to mute yourself, please? That was just a request. Okay. Vision, a long-term direction for your business. Mission is a current focus on what you want to accomplish towards the realization of that vision. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. There needs to be a balance between live and YouTube type videos. Well, you can. So for example, this live training that I'm doing today with Restream is actually going out to YouTube as a live video. I don't have a lot of live video on my YouTube channel, Susan, but I have some. I think that once you get to a certain point, then the integration of live, like after you reach a certain level, then that live element becomes maybe more of a thing. I don't know. I would not probably suggest that live video on YouTube be a real focus if you're building your channel in the initial stages. In the initial stages of building your channel, you need to be focusing on consistency, production, and cranking out content. You got to get your first 35 to 50 videos out as fast as possible, right? You could do that with live, but I think it's better to be focused on creating the recorded content first and then integrating the live after. It's not to say you can't, but you know. Maura says, I'm responding to Susan's question, how to hone in on mission, a singular focus. The book, The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek explains a just cause must be for something affirmative and optimistic, inclusive, open to all those who would like to contribute. It needs to be service oriented and resilient and idealistic. So that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Maura. That's awesome. A just cause versus a why. A just cause is not the same as our why. And for those of you who know, may or may not know, but Simon Sinek's TED Talk on, I don't know exactly the title of it, but it's the idea of the big why, is an excellent video to watch.
Golden Circle.
The why comes from the past. It's an origin story. It's a statement of who we are. I like that. The just cause is about the future. That's great. That's awesome. Good stuff. Okay. So if you, let me just go back to the golden circle. Start with why. That's it. Start with why. Exactly. So I'm just going to go back up here. Couple of things I'm going to put in the chat for you. One is this one. So check in your chat. This is if you want to connect with me and talk about the 8-week coaching program that's going to start in January. Let me know. You just have to book a call with me and I can walk you through that. This is for the Go Live Challenge that's going to start in January. They always start on the 1st of the month. So yes, it is going to start on New Year's Day. And you get prompts every day and some other benefits and special things there for your $17 registration. And the last thing I will share with you is Restream. So if you're interested in multi-streaming and want to use a platform like what I'm using today, you can use this link to start an account for free and give it a try. Are there any final questions? Did you like today's training? Show of hands on the screen if this was helpful, just from the standpoint of just hearing it maybe in a slightly different way. Okay, good. Glad. Thank you, Cheryl. Love your suggestions you made today about looking at what others offer in industry categories. Yeah, you know, market research, sometimes I think we get so much in our own bubbles and we're so like head down and doing the work. And it's like, oh, I got to do this and this. We need to, not obsessively, I would caution you. Sometimes we can go too far down the rabbit hole where we're obsessively following everyone in our industry. And then we start comparing ourselves to them to our detriment. So you do have to be careful, I think, about that balance, but you do need to do some research to at least have a baseline understanding of who is my competition, who's out there in the same industry. But from a content perspective, it will help bolster your belief in the fact that there is an ROI to this. When you see other people being successful and getting, and we don't know all the intricacies of it, obviously. You can only glean so much from watching someone in your industry who's got 1.5 million subscribers on a YouTube channel. We don't know what kind of sales process they have. We don't know what they're selling. If you follow Russell Brunson and his ClickFunnels, he's always talking about funnel hacking. Well, you can even do some funnel hacking to a degree of your competitors to find out what it is they're offering, right? So if you get in and you say you go through the YouTube piece and you find someone in your industry and you see that they offer, who knows, a $47 thing or a $197 thing. And it's somebody who, and maybe you're like Doug, you don't have a product or service yet. maybe wouldn't it be worth it to do $197 of market research to go in and look at what Joe Schmo is doing and what he's offering to give you even just ideas? You know, I think there's something to be said for the funnel hacking concept as it relates to shoring up your belief and your commitment so that it has a trickle down effect to your consistency on the channel, on not just YouTube. I'm using YouTube as the example here because it's a video-based platform, but the secret to making more videos consistently, which helps your entire brand online. I'm a big believer in repurposing content as well. You know, I take my YouTube video and I put it on Facebook, and then I take it and make it a vertical video and put it on IGTV. And I like to move my things around and gain that omnipresence by leveraging the content and those assets across all platforms. But if you're finding yourself not consistent, it likely is a belief and a commitment issue that needs to be shored up inside. Oh, so yeah, Russell Brunson. Yeah. I've got, where are his books? Oh no, I'm redoing my room upstairs into a video studio for 2021. So I brought all my books up there, but he's got a whole host of really great books. Consistent and look at what others are doing. Thanks for these gems. You are very welcome. Good, good, good. Great to see you all. So watch for, again, YouTube Shorts. I'm putting it together, guys. Like this is, could be really big. Could be really, really big, especially for the newer channels, because it's all about, it's a really great way to get more subscribers fast. There are videos, there are people doing shorts. I've only done one so far, but there are YouTube shorts being produced out there that are getting tens of thousands of views in minutes. So like it's really a huge opportunity. So I'm doing my research. I've literally learned about this less than 24 hours ago. So I'm telling you right straight up, I'm learning too, but I know more about YouTube. So I understand kind of the concepts of what they're doing. And I'll be putting together, separate from this likely, but I'll be doing a free training about these, specifically these short form vertical videos on YouTube. So that's going to be big. Watch for that. Makes so much, the majority of viewers are mobile devices. Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. Their mobile consumption of video on YouTube has outpaced desktop for many years now. But what I think what's happening is that YouTube is seeing all the response to TikTok and Reel. And so that's why Instagram Reels came out, because it's really like their response to TikTok. TikTok is a massive entity. And so YouTube is saying, whoa, wait a minute. Our job is to keep people on our platform for longer. What do we need to do to get a piece of that pie? They're a little bit different though than TikToks. And that's what I'm going to be teaching and talking about. So just watch for that. And I hope that you'll be able to join us for the free training I'll do on that topic. Likely in the next, I'm hoping in the next few days. Like I'm thinking Saturday, I'm thinking maybe Sunday. I don't typically like to do things on a Sunday, but I may have to because it's that hot. Like it's that urgent, you know, so I'm really pulling that together for you. And so just watch for an email. If you don't see an email, sometimes it's because it goes in the wrong folder. Reach out to our community at CherylPlouffe.com and go, hey, what about that training? Cheryl said she was going to do this training on YouTube Shorts. I want to be a part of it. And we'll make sure you get in there. Okay. Thanks so much for being here with me today. Have a great rest of your day. Those who are in the challenge, can't wait to see your videos. Keep going. You're doing an amazing job. And those who are in the coaching, I'll see you on Thursday as well. That's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.